Welcome everyone to our virtual college fair today for the Wisconsin Association for College Admissions Counseling. Just a few reminders before we get started with our session. Your camera and microphone are off, so our college reps cannot see or hear you. But if you do want to ask any questions, feel free to use the Q&A button on your screen. And this recording will be available online at strivescan.com/Wisconsin after the session is over. So you can feel free to review the recording after it is done. At this time, I would just like to welcome our first university, which is University of East London.
Thank you, Melissa. Hi, everyone. I'm just going to share my screen. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Caitlin Banania, and I am the International Recruitment Officer here at the University of East London. As you can tell by my accent, I am not British. I am American. I actually graduated from the university, and I still live in London. I now work for the university. Before I discuss studying in London, I first want to talk about London. So this quote says, "When a man is tired of London, he is tired of life." And I absolutely love this quote because I think this captures the beauty and the essence of London. I've lived in London for 4 years now, and I still haven't done everything that there is to do in London. And I don't think there are that many places in the world that can offer you that. So I will forever love London for that reason. This is a photo of our Docklands campus. We've got 3 campuses, all based in East London. As you can see, it's set in the suburbs, but we are still in London. We are also located right on the river. We are one of the few London universities with on-campus accommodation, so our students get to wake up to that gorgeous view. I'll talk a bit more about accommodation in the next few slides, but I just wanted to give you a look at where you could potentially be studying. And here I've listed the reasons why I chose to study at UEL. The biggest reason being you can graduate in 3 years instead of 4 years. We don't take a 4-year degree and squish it into 3 years. So the reason it's 3 years is because we don't require general education studies. So from day one of your studies, you are studying your dedicated subject area. And I tend to use psychology as my example because I studied psychology. So I didn't take any English or maths classes. I didn't take anything that wasn't related to psychology. And we're one of the biggest international universities in the UK. We have 17,000 students, 20% of which are international students. We are ranked first in the UK for international support and visa advice. I already mentioned that we're one of the only London universities with on-campus accommodation, and we do accept FAFSA loans, so you're more than welcome to use FAFSA to fund your degree. We have 6 schools within the University of East London. You can find our full list of courses on our website. Our biggest programs for American students are business management, psychology, and biomedical science, which is the equivalent of pre-med. This is a photo of our accommodation. So on the left-hand side, I've got a photo of what the dorm looks like at UEL. And on the right-hand side, it's a photo of the typical American dorm. I love talking about accommodation just because all of our rooms are private and en suite. And during my time at UEL, I absolutely loved having my own room. So you'll have your own room and your own bathroom. You will just share the kitchen and the living spaces. So it's perfect if you like to be social, but you also like to have your own space. And like I mentioned before, our campus is right on the river. You can look in the photo on the left-hand side, you can see the river right there. So I absolutely love that our campus is right on the river. I won't go into the details of what an American dorm is like because I'm sure you all know what it's like. And here I have a further breakdown of UEL versus the USA. It's free to apply to UEL, so you've literally got nothing to lose by submitting an application. You can find us on the Common app. We do rolling admission, which means we aim to send you your decision between 4 and 6 weeks. It may be a bit longer during the busy time periods, but I always recommend applying sooner rather than later. The duration is 3 years in length. Tuition for the first year is less than $20,000. This includes the cost of textbooks, so you won't be expected to pay for any of your textbooks. I didn't pay for any of my textbooks during my time at UEL, and tuition for the entire degree is less than $60,000. And like I mentioned before, you are more than welcome to use FAFSA loans to fund your degree. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me and my team. I work in the North American admissions team. Our email is americas@uel.ac.uk. I'll also list my information in the chat box, but I'm going to hand things back over to my colleague, Melissa. Thank you very much, Melissa.
All right, thank you so much, Caitlin. Next up, we have Temple University, Japan campus.
Thank you very much. My name is Andrew. I'm an admissions counselor here at Temple University Japan campus. A quick introduction to our institution. Temple University originates in Philadelphia. It's a huge institution on the east coast of the United States of around 35,000 undergraduate students, 150 different majors. And Temple University Japan campus, or TUJ for short, is simply an extension of that school, an international branch campus located in the heart of Tokyo, Japan. That means our students are working towards a Temple degree, exactly the same as our students are doing in Philadelphia. We teach entirely in English, so you're not required to show up on day one and be fluent in Japanese, but you can certainly start to learn the language or continuing to learn Japanese once you get to TUJ. As I mentioned, Temple has its main campus in Philadelphia. We have the campus in Tokyo, Japan, which is where I'm based, as well as a campus in Rome, Italy. So we're a very global outlooking institution. You can come and do your full 4-year undergraduate degree with us here at Temple Japan campus, but you can also split your time up between the other campuses as well. So maybe have a study abroad semester in Philadelphia or Rome, or split your degree up maybe by doing 2 years in Japan and then going on to complete your final 2 years in the Philadelphia school. Now, focusing specifically on our Tokyo location, we are very lucky to be located in the heart of this amazing city. We're not located on the outskirts of Tokyo, we're right in the center. Hubs like Shinjuku, Shibuya, Harajuku. If you're familiar with Tokyo, you've probably heard of these names. I like to say it's where the cool kids like to hang out. There's great shopping here, great facilities in terms of restaurants, etc. All of these places are located within 15 to 20 minutes of the campus. We're very lucky that Tokyo has probably the world's safest and most reliable public transport system, specifically the train network. It makes Tokyo very, very accessible. We have a great vantage point from our central location to go out and explore this amazing city, and it's something that I encourage all of our students to do. Now, in terms of your student experience, I mentioned at the beginning how we're similar to our main campus. Now, where we differ comes down mainly to the size. We are much smaller. As I mentioned, the main campus has 35,000 undergraduate students. Here at TUJ, we have just 1,400. So a very small, close-knit community here. You will get to know your classmates very well as the faculty. Class sizes are very small, approximately around 19 to 20 students per class. So classes tend to be very interactive. We do like to see our students participate and interact in all of the classes. And in addition to your regular tutorial and lecture style classes, we like to add a practical experience to your education. This is mainly done through our internship programs, with students having the opportunity to do semester-long credit-bearing internships with a variety of different companies. Maybe it's a Japanese company like Mitsubishi, maybe you're going to work for the international office of a company like Amazon. We work with many embassies, NGOs, schools here. So there's a great variety of internship opportunities to supplement your high-quality education. And outside of the classes, we have a number of clubs that students can participate in, as well as an extensive activities program, with students having the opportunity to not only explore Tokyo, but maybe going to ski in the northern part of Japan, going down to the south, visit hot springs. Again, we're trying to offer that immersive opportunity in Japan as well. We have a very diverse student body. We have around 65 different nationalities studying here at the institution. And that diversity is also reflected in the faculty who come from all over the world to teach at TUJ, including a number of faculty from the main campus every year who come and teach with us at the Japan campus. Now, being a small school, we focus down on 10 undergraduate majors, mainly in the liberal arts field, with majors like international business studies, communication studies, international affairs, and of course, Japanese being some of the more popular majors on campus. You can double major, you can major and minor. A very popular combination might be something like international business studies with a minor in Japanese. Now we're actually the oldest foreign university campus in Japan. We've been here for nearly 40 years. Actually, next year will be our 40th anniversary. But in 2019, we reached a huge milestone, moving into a brand new campus. This is a purpose-built facility for TUJ, a great modern facility for our students. We are located across the road from a Japanese university, Showa Women's University, who we have this great collaborative partnership. And through this, you'll be able to experience this unique, what's been dubbed as Japan's first global campus in Tokyo, Japan. One of the benefits of us being an international branch campus is we can offer a lower tuition rate when we compare to the main campus. And when you compare us to a private college fee in the US, our tuition comes in at approximately $15,000 per year. You can help subsidize these costs with FAFSA. We do offer a number of merit-based scholarships for students, and you can work part-time in Japan as well. Application process is very simple. There's a couple of ways you can apply. We do have our own online application form, as well as the Common App. Applications are open now for the fall 2022 semester. We offer rolling admissions. So once you complete your admissions application, we will send you a decision in approximately 4 weeks. We are test optional, so you're not required to submit an SAT or an ACT score, but if you have those scores and you want to submit them, we'll happily add those to your application. We currently have a number of webinars going on. We've just finished up a sample lesson this week for our economics program. Next couple of weeks, we'll have a meet and greet with our students where they'll be talking about their clubs and activities. So if you're interested in finding out more information, I encourage you to go and check out the website. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope to be able to speak to some of you in the near future. Thank you very much.
All right, next up we have University of Essex.
Perfect. Hopefully you can see my screen. Hello everyone, my name is Emma and I work at the University of Essex, which is based in the southeast of England. So I thought it would be useful just to begin with some sort of key points as to why students from the US are drawn to England. I think some of these have already been mentioned already, so I'll just go through these quite quickly. So it's been mentioned that degrees in England for the most part are 3 years in length. When I'm talking to students from the US, I always say that the UK higher education system is a perfect model for students that know what it is they want to major in, because you'll be studying that subject from the very first day. It's very competitive to study your degrees in England in terms of sort of tuition fees. It will vary from course to course and institution to institution, but typically you could be looking at paying around $20,000 to $30,000 per academic year. And remember, in England, it's only 3 years worth of fees that you'll be paying. Lots of our universities will offer some really competitive international scholarships, and lots of our universities are also FAFSA accredited. If you are applying to universities in the UK, you will most likely be using an online portal called WACAC, which very crudely speaking is sort of like our equivalent to the Common App. And also if you are hoping to get some sort of part-time work, maybe to sort of supplement your studies, then you will be able to get part-time work with your student route visa. You'll be able to work on or off campus for up to 20 hours a week during term time. And also internships are often paid, so another good way to earn some money. And with the new 2-year post-study work visa, you can stay in the UK once you've graduated for 2 years. So that's quite a recent development. If you're enjoying studying in the UK and you want to stay and look for work once you finish your studies, then you're able to with this new visa. So these are some of the reasons why students in the US like the University of Essex. So we have 3 campuses located in Colchester, Southend and Loughton. Colchester is the largest of our 3 campuses, sits on 200 acres of beautiful award-winning parkland, and it's where most of our students study. All of our campuses are within easy reach of London, less than an hour by train, which in my opinion is the perfect distance, close enough if you want to get into the city, but far enough away so you do notice quite a big difference in sort of living costs. A fun fact about Colchester, it is the UK's oldest recorded town. We're not really known in the UK for our glorious sunshine, but in Essex we do have some of the UK's best weather, just on that southeast coast there. And something I really like about our location is it's a great mix. We're close to the coast, we're close to the city of London. There are some really lovely and beautiful towns and villages that sort of surround our campuses, and we're also surrounded by the beautiful Essex countryside. So Essex is a dual intensive university, which means we place as much importance on our research as we do our teaching, and we're recognised for the quality of our teaching. So we're a university that's known for our social sciences, in particular subjects like politics, international relations, sociology, economics, human rights. These are subjects that we're consistently well ranked for. We also have a really interdisciplinary approach to our teaching, which is something I think is really fantastic about the university. It means you can pick different classes, different modules across different departments, across different faculties to really shape the degree that you're studying around your interests and what's important to you. We've got a huge wide range of subjects, definitely don't have time to go into those unfortunately, but we have 3 faculties, 21 academic departments across those faculties, and there's a link at the bottom of the screen if you want to explore our subjects in more detail. So a little bit about student life. At Essex, we've got over 160 sports clubs and societies, so there's definitely something for everyone. Our Colchester campus is a really large, vibrant campus community with lots and lots of facilities for students to enjoy, such as theatres, cinema. We've got a brand new Essex sports arena, which has some amazing facilities, including basketball and volleyball facilities. There's a climbing wall, squash courts, tennis courts. There's also a gym on campus and lots of restaurants, bars, cafes, over 20 hospitality outlets. So we guarantee on-campus accommodation for students, so you get to live on campus for your first year and really sort of enjoy all these facilities, and then typically students move off campus in their second and final year. And we're also ranked 7th for spend on services and facilities, so we're pumping money back into our campuses for students to enjoy. So it's really cost effective. I've mentioned this already, the fact that you're only paying for 3 years worth of fees. At Essex, our fees for this academic year start at just under 17,000 to just under 20,000 pounds. So in dollars, that's somewhere sort of between $21,000 to $25,000 per academic year. We also offer some really, really generous scholarships, including our America's Regional Scholarship, which is worth £5,000 towards your first year's tuition. We also offer a number of sports scholarships, which is sort of assessed on a case-by-case basis for talented athletes, and our IB Excellence Scholarship as well, which is based on merit, and we are FAFSA accredited. So at Essex, we place lots of importance on employability. There are placement year opportunities for lots and lots of our courses, something I really encourage sort of career orientated students to have a think about. 91% of our undergraduate students are in employment or further studies. So that's a really high percentage of our students that have either gone sort of into a job immediately after graduating or within 6 months, or they've decided to do a master's. We have employability modules built into our undergraduate degree, so we're preparing our students sort of right from day one so that they are prepared for the workforce once they finish university. And we have a Skills for Success team that helps students with things like CV workshops, interviewing, there's networking and career events on campus too. And Essex also do offer a couple of really great initiatives, including learning a language and a data science for all programme, completely for free, which students can pick up alongside their studies. And one of the final things I just want to talk about, is probably my favourite things about the University of Essex, is just how international the university is. We're ranked 4th in the UK for international outlook. It's not just our students, it's our staff as well, that are from all over the world. And it's also reflected in our curriculum. We have a really international curriculum. Over 140 nationalities represented in Colchester. That's around 40% of our students are from outside the UK. So it's really an opportunity to study, live, work, make lifelong friends with people that are from all over the world. There's a huge range of cultural activities and societies on campus to really make our international students feel welcome. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'll also put my contact details in the chat box so that you can follow up if you do have any questions. Thanks for listening.
All right, thank you so much. Unfortunately, American College of Dublin was not able to join us for our session today, but definitely check out their website, see what offerings they have for virtual visits or even on-campus visits if you would like to travel and visit them. But I do have some questions for our reps today in our session, so I would like to invite them back on screen. And our first question for this session is, what piece of advice do you have for students going through the college search process? And we're going to start with the University of East London.
Thank you, Melissa. I would say if you're considering studying overseas, one of the things that I did when I was a senior is I actually didn't tell anyone I was considering studying overseas. And looking back, I'm really glad that I did that because I don't think anyone was able to sway my decision on attending ELIA.
Yeah, I would say just make the most of all the resources that are available now. Over the last couple of years, most institutions have built a massive portfolio of online tours, ways to connect with admissions counselors, with current students. So use all those resources to really get familiar with the institutions that you're interested in, and that can help you make a final decision.
Yeah, mine's similar to Andrew, actually. I would say to talk to current students as much as we love talking to you and telling you about our universities. I think the best people to speak to are current students that are studying at the universities that you're interested in, even better if they're studying the course that you're thinking about applying to study, because they're experiencing it, they're going through it. So yeah, I would encourage you to speak to current students.
Awesome. Next question I have is, what do you want students to remember about your school? This could also be taken as a fun fact, maybe about your school, or something that you want people to remember about your school. Either way you interpret it. We're going to start with University of East London.
Thank you. Ooh, this one's easy. I would say the one thing I want everyone to remember is that we are London's careers-led university. So we'll help you with placements, internships, either directly related to your course or outside of your course. I'll use me as an example. I studied psychology, but I started an internship in international recruitment when I was 18, and I stuck with my internship all throughout uni. So when I graduated, I just stuck with my job, and they switched my visa from a student visa to a work visa. So as far as job prospects go, they're really great at East London.
For us, I'd just say we offer something really quite unique. We're the only institution in the world where you can come and study for your American degree and do all of that in the heart of Tokyo, which is probably one of the world's, if not the world's, most amazing city.
I would probably say one of the most memorable things, or I would like you to take away, is just how international and welcoming our community is at Essex. But I think that students might say that one of the most memorable things about the university is the fact that we've got a cat that lives on campus who we call Campus Cat. His actual name is Pebbles, but he even has his own social media. He's got his own Facebook account and Instagram account, and you can buy his merchandise from our store. So he's a pretty big deal at Essex. So I think students might say that's one of the most memorable things about Essex.
Awesome. And then lastly, our last question for today, what myth would you like to debunk about the college admissions process?
I would say that applying to a school overseas is not harder than applying to a college in America. I would say it probably involves more steps. And the biggest difference is that you have to apply for a visa. But apart from that, it's not hard at all to apply to a school overseas.
Just to piggyback off what was just said, a lot of people automatically dismiss overseas as well because they fear it's going to be a huge cost increase. But that's not often the case. As you've seen today, most of our institutions here can offer a lower tuition rate when you compare to studying in the US. Yeah, cost can often be lower if you're considering an overseas institution.
I would say one of the myths I'd like to debunk is that the more extracurriculars, the better. So in the UK, our admissions team are really basing decisions on applications based on an applicant's academic potential. So it's really sort of why students want to study that particular subject, what it like, why they're passionate about the course that they've applied to study. Not so much of a focus on extracurriculars, and we are interested in extracurriculars, but it always sort of has to be linked back to the course. So it's not a case of the more extracurriculars, the better, certainly for UK universities.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for your final thoughts, your pieces of advice, and everything that you've shared with our attendees and our students going through their college search processes. Just a final couple things for our session before we end for today. Thank you again for everybody joining us. There is a survey for our attendees once they close out their window, just sharing some feedback with how our session went. And this recording will be available at strivescan.com/Wisconsin. I would like to thank everybody for joining us, especially our college reps, for taking the time today to share some awesome information about their institutions. Best of luck for everybody going through the college search process and also admissions representatives. Best of luck with the rest of your week. Have a good rest of your week and also be well, everyone. Have a good night, everyone.